everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to another video. So
I'm
today,
putting gas. Just so you guys know.
oh, do you want to talk?
She didn't kick me out of the front seat. It's just that I'm putting gas, so don't judge her or me.
It is actually my birthday today. Whoop, whoop. So we're gonna go to Disney. Daniel's taking me. We're annual pass holders. Thank you to a very generous gift. And we're gonna go and have a great day. I actually spent this morning, my mom picked me up and we went to eat breakfast. My sister joined us over there as well. I have a twin sister, and so we share a birthday, so we were able to spend the morning together, and she headed off to work, and then I have the day off, so I'm gonna be at Disney with hubby.
I'm so sorry. It's December 13th is a big date for both sides of the family for multiple reasons.
Why is that?
You told them about your birthday.
Yes.
And your twin sister's birthday.
Right.
And my youngest brother's birthday.
Oh yeah, Daniel's youngest brother. Well, your older brother.
He's 15 today.
Yeah.
His younger brother. And then it's also the anniversary of my father's passing.
Yeah.
So, lot of big things for both sides of the family.
So we want to take you along for a day in our lives. We like to take you on these in these videos to Disney, just because going to Disney is a bit different for us nowadays. Daniel has to bring his scooter, and then we can only do things that are fairly accessible. I say fairly because things that say that are accessible sometimes are not super accessible. It requires transferring to a wheelchair or transferring into the ride, and that's not really accessible for everyone. Not everyone is able to transfer from the wheelchair. Thankfully Daniel is, but not into every type of ride. Some rides are just a little too difficult to do that. Anyway, so I like to take you guys along so that you can see what it is like maneuvering the park. Daniel has his own scooter. We've done multiple videos about that scooter. We even have a full video reviewing it and showing you the features. If you are interested, if you're someone who's younger and is requiring an assistive device like a scooter to be able to go long distances, do a day at an amusement park like we are, or be able to go to the mall and things like that, like, you know, that's something that is very new to us this year, where Daniel's energy just can't keep up in his strength with like a full day at a mall or something like that. So that scooter has been an absolute game changer, lifesaver. So we take it to Disney and we really put it through the ringer. So we have a whole video reviewing that scooter. It's an amazing device. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video and enjoy the day with us as we celebrate my birthday. Woo! So if I were a Disney princess, who would I be?
Aurora.
Why would I be Sleeping Beauty? I'm curious about this one. Why would I be Sleeping Beauty?
Because you are, how do I say this?
Sleepy?
No.
That's like the only, I mean, I don't know that she has like a defining characteristic.
I don't know how to say this. You are hardworking. I'm not calling you lazy.
Yeah, but what does Aurora have to do?
The fact that she's the only one that was caught like sleeping. All of the other princesses were just in really bad situations.
Snow White!
That's Aurora.
No! Snow White that's her name.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Aurora is Sleeping Beauty.
It's Sleeping Beauty. Who was Snow White? What did she do? What happened with her?
She ate the poisoned apple. Aurora got her, like, pricked her finger on the thing.
But what I'm trying to say is all the other princesses were always like working, cleaning the house and doing stuff that they were forced to do. And Aurora was just sleeping.
You're like digging a bigger hole for yourself. What does that mean?
I don't know.
You're doing it on purpose.
I am. I'm trying to offend you.
I am offended. I'm like, she didn't do much. Like, she just was pretty, and then like she pricked her finger, and then she was like, dance with animals.
I don't know. You're just in a girl in your own world. Huh? Like you're a whole separate princess.
Then you're Gaston.
No, I'm not. I'm in kidney failure. I can't be.
What? You're annoying. So which prince would you be? Let's see.
Shrek.
No, I'm so done. You don't get this game.
finally made it. We're on our first show. Carla and I kind of want to do a lot of shows today. So we're at Indiana Jones and we're sitting up front. It's actually pretty cool. Carla will get some shots here in a second that we'll put up on the screen. It wasn't that bad getting here. And it's because I was the one driving. I'm sorry. Anyways, guys, so we're at our first show, which is kind of what we're gonna do a lot of today. And we are at the Indiana Jones show because we came to Hollywood Studios. That's where we're at. Yeah. Came to Hollywood Studios. So Carla and I are gonna try to do a lot more shows today rather than rides, just to kind of like gauge how my energy is and stuff like that. Getting here was actually pretty cool. We're like literally at the front.
We came in through like there, but we had to go through like a back way, and a cast member actually took us around. So
there's a lot of loops and stuff, but the scooter's easy to maneuver, which thank God, you know. But it's not terrible. The view is a little weird that we have right now, the shot of the stage, but maybe things will get different soon. All right, the show is starting.
No, not yet, not yet. So I am usually the navigator when we come to Disney.
Because she has severe anxiety and won't let me do anything.
No, you literally say you're the navigator, Carla. Go ahead, I'm following you.
I don't like navigating.
So anyways, so like you said, we're gonna do shows today. So we can go on the app and just scroll through and look at all the shows. But something I just discovered the other day, and if I find it, I will insert a clip. But you can go on the rides, and you can actually, there's a feature on there that you can click accessible. It was while I was planning our day. They have like something called the Genie something, and basically it's a way for you to plan out your day. So they have a function on there that you can just click on whatever rides interest you, and then it turns it into a plan for your day. I'm not gonna use that today because quite honestly, we already kind of know the things that we wanna do. So I'm not gonna bother, but it's really cool to plan out your day. But when you're clicking on the rides that you're interested in, it actually gives you a feature to check how accessible they are, which everything has to be accessible, but some things we have found are more accessible than others. For example, like I saw this show and I got really bummed out because I saw the accessible seating in the back of the arena, and I got like way up there and I got kind of disappointed. I'm like, we're gonna have to sit in the back because Daniel couldn't come down all these stairs, and then the cast member took us around. So everything is pretty accessible here, but there are some rides that he would have to transfer into a wheelchair, or he has to transfer into a cart.
Yep.
Some stuff he can drive right into with the scooter. So there is that feature on there that I just discovered, and I thought I would share it with anyone out there who maybe has a difficult time finding things that are accessible. And it even goes into detail about like for the hearing impaired and things like that, what is available. Sometimes there isn't always something exactly great
I
available.
believe there's sign language next to us.
Yeah, but there's actually someone behind us that looks like they're hearing impaired, and there's a cast member communicating with them, which I thought was awesome. But just thought it was like a really cool thing that Disney does.
Yeah, that is.
It tries to make things accessible. Though it's still a hassle to get things done when you are dealing with disability, but I can really appreciate when special care is put into trying to make things accessible.
Yeah.
Not just the bare minimum that the law requires, but like actually how can we help people enjoy themselves who have a disability.
Right. I think it's pretty cool.
Yep.
Day so far here. The park is way more full than I thought it'd be for like a midweek thing. But so far we've been able to see a few shows, and I think we have like one or two more that we want to try to hit before we leave. We might go to another park for the fireworks. I'm not entirely too sure what Carla wants to do. But it's been a good day so far. What about you, birthday girl? How have you been feeling?
Good. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna eat this
Pulled pork sandwich. It looks good though.
It's like a pulled pork sandwich, but it's also burger and then has coleslaw on top.
It's not really Four Rivers quality. And if you guys don't know what Four Rivers is, you need Jesus. But it's not really Four Rivers quality, but it looks good, to say the least, you know? It's a big deal.
It is 8:38 p.m. So we actually left before the final fireworks show and stuff like that. So we had something happen in one of the rides. It's one of the Star Wars ride. So you actually have, like, you can go in with your scooter and everything up to the first portion of the ride, but then you get to a certain point where they ask, can you walk? To get like into the actual ride, because it's like an experience. It's like a ride, but it's like multiple rides in one. It's like a whole experience. And so Daniel looks at me and he's like, should I walk? I was like, no, because they said, are you comfortable walking and then standing up for 10 to 15 minutes? And I was like, no, that's not doable. So he was able to drive the scooter up to a certain point. But then he would have to stand for another few minutes and wait to be able to actually get on the car, like the ride car or whatever. So Daniel was like, yep, I can totally do it. And I looked at him and I was like, no, I don't think that's a good idea. And so he totally was convinced he could do it. And I think before he could, maybe even a few weeks ago, but now that he's back to hemodialysis and center and stuff like that, he just doesn't have the energy. He's still recovering. I mean, he's recovering strength every day, but I don't think today was a day to test that theory. So unfortunately, he stood up from the scooter and did good for like 30 seconds, and one of the employees took the scooter away, and then at the end of the ride they'll meet us with the scooter. Well, unfortunately, Daniel stood up and they took the scooter away, and then he was not feeling good. He was like, I need the scooter, I need to sit down right now. His blood pressure dropped, and so I had to run out and tell the employee, hey, and the other employee, trying to stay in character, which was hilarious, because in the Star Wars ride, the whole kind of storyline is that you get captured by the Empire or whatever they're called, and so the employees are playing members of, you know, the enemy army or whatnot, and so they're trying to stay in character, and the whole thing is that they're like really serious and sarcastic, and because you're technically captured, and so he's like trying to stay in character while also telling his colleague he needs his transport because Daniel needed his scooter, and the employee was like walking away, so we had to run after him. And anyways, disaster averted. Daniel was able to sit down in his scooter, and he did fine the rest of the ride. But then when he went to go stand up to get out of the ride, he needed my help to stand up, and I felt bad. It was people behind us. They were super gracious and super nice, but like one of the things that we deal with a lot, which is so silly, and we actually have to talk to each other all the time and say, this is silly, we shouldn't allow that to bother us, you know, however much it does. And it is that we're always so worried that we're like inconveniencing people around us because Daniel's scooter, or, you know, because we just don't move as fast as everyone else in a crowd. And I say we because I stand next to him, and there's times when I walk too fast, and, you know, if people get in the way, which unfortunately we have found in this journey that people are not very gracious, and so they kind of walk around Daniel and get in the way, and so he has to slow down in a crowd, instead of seeing someone in a scooter and like giving them, like letting them go through. People just start getting in the way, like they're in a hurry, and it slows us down. And so these are all things that this year we've had to learn to maneuver, and it's not easy, and it can get really frustrating, and sometimes I get super overwhelmed because maneuvering the scooter through a crowd is so difficult. And I can imagine for Daniel, who's the one trying to drive it and maneuver it through a crowd, but I get frustrated just because we're like not able to keep up. And yeah, that part of everything is frustrating. What about for you? Like, do you get frustrated with how people sometimes don't even let you walk through the crowd?
Yeah, but my biggest thing is not frustration, it's just embarrassment. I get ashamed that I have to go around with the scooter, which is really frustrating for me. But I've gotten, you know, a little used to it, and I know as time goes on, you know, I'll be okay. But I'm just already at a point where I can't wait to get to where I don't need it anymore. Honestly, that's my mentality right now. Other than that, I have a hard time, like, you know, staying mad because of how convenient the scooter is for us. Like, it really was a huge lifesaver, a big game changer when we got it at home. There was a lot more that I was able to do, and a lot more that I'm able to do now because of the scooter. So,
And for me, I was talking to Daniel about this earlier. We're really candid about this with each other. Like, we're really honest with each other. And days like this where I don't have help, it's just him and I, and we take on something big like going to Disney World. I'm not gonna lie, I get really nervous or stressed out, and like, I'm always worried that, you know, if he doesn't feel well and something happens, I don't have someone to help me. I actually get really nervous about that. Daniel doesn't feel like that ever. So that's like something where we differ a lot maybe in our personalities, and we have had to learn that, okay, listen, like, nothing's gonna go wrong. We can't always think in a worst case scenario. And so yeah, I really do struggle with like worst case scenario and being afraid that something bad's gonna happen. But we've learned that, you know, we have to get past those feelings. But and I think between the both of us, he struggles with feeling maybe a bit embarrassed, and I just struggle with thinking worst case scenario and feeling alone, and like something bad happens, I don't have help. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today. We have other videos linked below where we go to Disney and kind of maneuver figuring out places like that when dealing with chronic illness and disability. And anyways, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.